Warning, this video contains pretty women and badly pronounced Japanese words. If this offends you, please turn back now. When the Sega Saturn hit America, it didn't have a lot going for it, but it did have something. I am the Game Collector, and this is Second Opinion Games. And today I'm gonna show you one sexy Sega Saturn.
Second Opinion Games.
First up, Tomb Raider. Lara Croft really was the first sexy woman of video games. Everyone went wild for her. They made movies and they made sure to put the sexiest woman on the planet at the time as Lara Croft. Not to mention she had a great accent in the video game and her voice was very soothing. The fact that you could control her, well, just made everyone want to play with good old Lara. Even the beginning tutorial was kind of exciting to see her barefoot running around, and you always got to see her butt right there in the center of the screen. Burning Rangers has firefighters, and I'm told that they're very sexy. As a matter of fact, some people make a living making calendars with firefighters on them. Now, these guys are very early 3D, of course, because the Sega Saturn, that's what it kind of did at the time, but there is some still pictures of some very pretty girls and some men, but I'm really not caring that much about them. For me, it's all about the women, and I tell you what, this is not pretty. This is not sexy. And even playing the game, it's fun, but you know what? I'm not getting burned up at all on this one. The horror video game D has a really cute blonde girl. Well, this is early 3D completely CGI video, so this is literally the best they can do. Also, she is a silent protagonist, and I think we could all agree that women are much better when they're not talking so much. So I gotta give them points for that. And I do have full control over Lara, so I really enjoy this game. Even if there is no pause button and you can't really die unless you completely run out of time, it was certainly an early attempt to make CGI sexy. Fighting game time, and I'm going with Fighting Vipers for my 3D game pick, because I really don't care that much about Virtual Fighter, and I really got drawn to this game because of its unique characters. Meaning Candy, a really pretty girl with clothes that would explode off of her body if she gets hit too many times. Matter of fact, all of the characters have clothes and armor that just sort of shatters off, but Candy has a lunging butt move. She somehow thinks that her butt is so powerful, it can hurt people by lunging at them. This is a great strategy. I recommend that all women try to fight me with their butt as frequently as possible, especially if they look like Candy and they're willing to lose all of their clothes. Marvel superheroes only had one playable female character, and that's a little-known one called Psylocke. And yeah, she's really cute, but she also happens to be one of the most powerful fighters in the entire game. I can play through the whole thing with her and pretty much no one else, because you know what? She just rocks. X-Men Children of the Atom added another character to play as that isn't Psylocke, that's a female. She has 6 arms, but sadly only 2 breasts still. Why did they manage to screw this up? She's not nearly as powerful or as interesting as Psylocke, and I just wonder why they didn't put someone else in here from the X-Men universe that could really get the job done. You know, like Jean Grey or Rogue. Street Fighter the movie, the game, gets made fun of all the time here on the internet, but one thing you can't make fun of is this super pop singer Kylie Minogue playing Cammy in full cosplay for your playing goodness. And she is freaking awesome to play as. Downing people with her spinning kick, can take people out of the air with sort of like a kick uppercut. Check out those legs and that butt. Cammy is on fire. Now, they probably did use a stunt double body swap out person, and it probably isn't really the pop star here, but it's close enough for me, and I gotta say, Cammy is one of my all-time favorite girls. The only way to make it better is by playing X-Men versus Street Fighter, where you can set up 2-on-2 fights, which means you could have Cammy and Rogue on a match versus Rogue and Chun-Li. Having Rogue double down here increases the opportunity for Rogue to do her super special move of kissing the other character. Girl-on-girl kiss scenes? Of course, they are super sexy, and having Cammy thrown in the mix definitely makes it a bit more interesting. And on top of it, this is one of the best fighting games of all times, and it also controls perfect on the Sega Saturn. So I think when it comes to Sega Saturn fighting games, this is clearly the very best one. But if we were gonna stick around on fighting games, we would be here all day. So let's try and think outside the box, and maybe even outside of our own country. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, where you could play as Maria Renard, which you could not do on the PlayStation version, which means that this is the one to play if you want to play through the whole game as an incredibly beautiful blonde girl that can throw doves out of her arms and also can jump kick wolves to death with her feet. Man, this girl is amazing. And even if this is considered to be the inferior port of the game, I'm still gonna stick with this one every time, just for Maria. But I'm more of a run and gun guy. That's why I prefer to play Elevator Action Returns, where you can play as a beautiful brunette that likes to blow people up and throw fire bombs everywhere like a little firebug. I'm gonna put it out there that it's probably not the best idea to date girls that are super into fire. Every single time I have, they have been complete psychopaths. That being said, they've also been super hot chicks. This girl is so cute, even the game developers know that when you pull up in a white van, you just have to grab her and drive away as fast as possible. On top of it, it's one of the best shooters of all times. Hula Rula is a beat 'em up that is freaking weird. All of the enemies on screen are insane to look at, and also your character has a magic ability that lets you do some magical spells that are also freaking weird. Just hitting things on the screen turns them into animals, which then you can collect for points. And when you come to a giant set of legs with a door in the middle, well, my curiosity is piqued. I really have to find out what's inside that door at all costs, and when I do, I am not disappointed. It's an elephant. I love how crazy this freaking game is. Keno Flying Squadron 2. This is a action platformer game with a girl with cute bunny ears and a fluffy little tail. And she'll stomp on a lot of raccoons to get what she wants and beating up a whole lot of sumo wrestlers along the way. After you defeat a boss battle, you'll see a little splash screen where a girl's acting extremely cute and looking rather seductive. How old is this girl supposed to be anyway? Well, oh my god, forget everything I just said, and Japan, you guys are freaking weird. Stay away from this if you're considering a sexy time, because you're gonna end up on some type of FBI watch list. Just move on, quickly. Japan also had some games that weren't games at all. Like, check out this one where you can control like a sort of make your own music video with the music playing, and it's really, this is all there is. It's just a music video that you can kind of control. It's no Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch like on the Sega CD, but this is kind of ridiculous. Dream Square is another weird little game where you could mostly just look at girls in still pictures. It's sort of like a digital magazine, and I'm just confused how this thing even got greenlit. There's no way that this sold at full price or even a budget title at the time, because there's really nothing to it. Just like the game Private Idol, and they made like 20 of these. This is probably the best one where it's the girls dressing up in their favorite cosplay outfits, but you're just scrolling through pictures on a disc. This is really quite pointless. Why not just play a game where you could play as a photographer? And that's where Virtual Photo Studio comes in, where you could be a total creeper as you watch girls dance on a video, and you have to choose when to take the picture. Usually as they pose for a brief, quick second, you snap the picture, and you even get graded on it. Well, kind of. It makes a noise whether you took a good picture or a bad one, and then you can play it back later to see all of the pictures you took. Why would you want to when you could just watch the video? Or watch any other video, or play a completely different game. Angel Paradise is a series of games where you can play sort of a jigsaw puzzle game with full motion video in the background, and also do a 15-block sliding puzzle game. What makes this really confusing is the fact that the camera sort of shifts sometimes, so trying to figure out where exactly to put these blocks is extremely difficult. And I am really good at 15-block challenges, so If I can't do it, I don't think any of you will be able to also. And you sort of feel like a creeper just sort of watching these girls from afar. Girls in Motion is more of the same, only it's 100% jigsaw puzzle. If you happen to complete the puzzle, well then you'll see your pretty girl staring at you lovingly in a swimsuit. Darn right I'm into this. And it is kind of fun. It is weird to play multiplayer with a friend though, because, you know, you have to put your pants back. Yakin Yukin Special is definitely a special video game. Essentially, it's paper, rock, scissors. Oh, wait, let me correct myself. It is strip, paper, rock, scissors. There is no way of knowing what the computer is going to pick, which just means you have a 1 in 3 chance of seeing someone take off an article of clothing, dancing around, and then playing the same video again and again. This will drive you absolutely insane just trying to sit through 5 minutes of this because of how redonkulously competitive it is. Also, if there's a tie, then just no one gets the point, so you just have to sit and watch it again. This is the worst kind of video game you could ever possibly imagine. So why can't I stop playing? Playboy even made its own media for the console with a karaoke disc, which means there's some light music going on in the background, which isn't very interesting at all. Words will appear and then you'll sing along with your Sega Saturn. Now, I can't show too much of this because there is lots of nudity here, and it's so granulated it looks completely disgusting. No, I'd rather play some type of other really weird game. And it doesn't get any weirder than a smart game. This thing is a total fever dream. When you're playing it, well, there'll be a picture of a girl. You select that picture, a funny face makes a weird noise, and then you go into a mini game which you have to then try to figure out how to control, and it's not nearly as easy as it looks, believe me. Also, the introduction into this game is just freaking nuts. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and that's probably the best part of this game. You never know what it's going to throw at you next, and you're going to be freaked out the entire time. So I played a lot of sexy games today, and I've tried to figure out what is the sexiest, most beautiful game on the Sega Saturn, and I think I figured it out for my last game. Sega Kata Sunchiro. That's right, they actually made a video game based off of a commercial character that was used to sell Sega Saturns. This guy is the entire reason that the Sega Saturn was even viable in Japan, because he was so powerful, so cool, so super sexy that people could not stop playing this game as well as all the other games I talked about today. The game itself is just a collection of mini-games that are very crudely programmed, even though one in particular is really cool where you have to jump over fireballs. Just trying to get to the finish line on any of these is a task, but it's a task you want to pick up because when you do complete it, well then it will just play another Sega Saturn commercial where just this guy does the craziest stuff like kick a freaking home run. I absolutely love this guy, and there is no doubt in my mind that this is the sexiest Sega Saturn game ever made. But of course, that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching.
遊びの道に魂込めた一人の男が今日も行く真面目に遊ばぬ奴らには体で覚えさせるぞ背がた三四郎背がた三四郎背が三段四郎
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I had a great time making it because I got to spend a heck of a lot of time digging down deep into the Sega Saturn's library to find some of the weirdest games I could ever imagine. So if you had a game that you feel like needed a little bit more attention or thought it was sexier than any of the ones I talked about today, let me know in the comment box down below. And until later, I will see you again, guys.